In 1980, filmmaker Peter Greenaway released The Falls, a 3-hour mockumentary about a disaster that never happened. The people are fictions, the events are fabrications, but running through the center of the hoax is one real element: birds. One character, a man named Castanar, spends his time writing the index pages for bird books. He keeps a personal list of the 92 most unfamiliar bird names he encounters. Our task is to follow that list, letter by letter, through the 21 sections of the alphabet Greenaway used, starting at A. We will use a specific visual key. When you see a bird as a closed wireframe, it represents a verified, real-world species. When you see broken red lines that never connect, the bird is suspect. It might be a mistake, or something Greenaway invented entirely. Greenaway slipped fake bird names into his lists of real ones. To find them, we first have to understand the strange, often impossible-sounding reality of the true biological catalog. Letter A holds the X-center. In Britain, it is often called a hedge sparrow because it looks and behaves like one, but it is unrelated to sparrows. It is a separate lineage that biologists only correctly identified once they looked past the surface. Its biology contradicts human assumptions about family. A female often pairs with 2 males simultaneously, and both help feed the chicks. The bird that looks like a sparrow is not a sparrow, and the bird that looks like a married pair is often something much more complex. B and C are crowded: bittern, blackbird, bobolink, buzzard, canary, cassowary, condor, cuckoo, curlew. The list reflects real reference books. At E, the eagle category breaks. Golden, sea, and harpy eagles share a body plan, but evolved entirely on separate tree branches. H gives us the hoopoe, the only living member of its entire family. Most bird families have hundreds of species. The hoopoe sits on a single, isolated branch. If it goes, the family goes with it. The killdeer at letter K protects its nest by faking a broken wing. It performs a limp to lure predators away from its eggs. Once the threat is far enough, the bird simply stands up and flies off. Before a filmmaker ever built a hoax around them, real birds were already performing fictions, utilizing disguises and behaviors that defy the rigid categories we try to place them in. L continues: lapwing, lark, linnet, and the lammergeier. The broken lines suggest doubt. It lives on bone marrow, dropping large bones onto rocks to shatter and dissolve them. It is real. This vulture even dyes its feathers orange in mud. The tally accelerates through the final letters: sanderling, swift, trogon, vulture, woodcock, wren. 95 real species are verified and locked into the catalog. Letter P brings the ultimate test: the poorwill. It is the only bird known to enter a state of torpor for months. It wedges itself into rock crevices, its breathing slows to nearly nothing, and it waits out the winter without moving. The poorwill sits at the exact point where the real catalog and the invented one become impossible to tell apart. Greenaway didn't need to invent bizarre biology. The real world was already strange enough to serve the hoax. Greenaway left 5 letters empty: I, Q, X, Y, and Z. There are no birds for them in his film, but in reality, these letters hold ibises, quetzals, and zebra finches. The film's catalog stops, but the world does not. Now we cross into the 11 birds Greenaway actually invented. These are the deliberate fictions hidden within the recitation: garni, seaview, patachium phallitus. These names sound plausible, but their visual outlines will never snap closed. They have no Latin names, no ranges, and no habits beyond the script of the film. Look at the difference. The 95 real birds all lock into a tree of shared evolutionary history. They are connected by deep roots and common ancestors. The 11 fakes float outside the tree, isolated and weightless. While an invented bird exists only as a single name on a page, real taxonomy reveals a fragile, deeply intertwined web, where every species represents a branch that took millions of years to grow. We return to letter D to see what happens when a branch is lost. The dodo was a flightless pigeon from Mauritius. From the moment humans arrived, it took only 64 years for the species to be erased from the tree entirely. At letter O, the osprey faced a similar threat. In the 20th century, human-made chemicals entered the food chain, causing the birds to accidentally crush their own eggs. Across North America, the population crashed. But the osprey's branch was reattached. After the chemicals were banned in 1972, the species began a decades-long recovery. It is proof that a disappearing name can be brought back to the list. Accentor, bittern, cuckoo, dodo, eagle, fulmar, hoopie, lammergeier, osprey, porwil, sanderling, swift, trogon, wren. Greenaway invented a fictional responsibility of birds, but the actual responsibility belongs to the people trying to keep these branches on the tree. The real biological catalog is shrinking. Every single name we lose takes a